Welcome back to yet another episode of Retrospect, the retro gaming podcast where I talk about anything retro gaming related or anything that you guys really want to talk about. And in this episode, you may have noticed it's a little bit of a different layout. I have moved flat, which means I have a new office and a new studio that is currently under work. So this is where I'm going to be filming. The microphones, the lighting still isn't perfect, so I apologize if you're hearing a bit of echo and that the audio quality isn't up to scratch. But I can imagine the next episode, this will all be sorted. So in this episode, I want to talk about buying and collecting and maybe even flipping retro consoles and collectibles, because a lot of you out there constantly ask me for advice on should I buy this, should I buy a box, should I buy Pokemon cards, etc. And I want to go through what I would probably do in your scenario or in your shoes. And I am no way a professional at this. I barely ever really flip stuff. I just collect, but I do now and then keep an eye on what's selling across eBay and what the prices are going for. So a few things I want to talk about in this, I've got them up on my screen here, is the current crisis. Is it a good time to buy? What should you buy? Should you buy gaming accessories? Should you buy consoles? Should you buy trading cards, etc.? What should you buy in terms of quality? How long should you hold for? And what you should do in this situation. Again, so we'll start with that. As you well know, we're in this economic crisis. A lot of people are trying to sell stuff, but is it actually a good time to buy? And in my personal opinion, is probably wait a few weeks. I think the best time to buy is when the crisis is starting to kind of end, because I think people will come out of this and then that's when the economy will try and figure things out. Things will start being expensive. Not many people will be able to afford to buy luxury things and maybe looking to flog their old retro consoles or their retro collection. So I think now a lot of things are quite well priced in terms of they're not moving around a lot. Over the last few months, retro consoles and Pokemon cards have stuck at their same usual price. But I can imagine in a few weeks or in a few months, those will start to drop. And then I think personally, that will be a good time to buy. And what I think you should be investing in is basically boxed, sealed, or graded products. That is the only things you should really be buying. Now, I'm talking about people that want to collect and possibly invest in buying these retro consoles or collectibles. If you want to just collect to have them in your collection and play with them, you're not worried about quality and the condition of your products, then this video might not be really for you. But if you're looking to keep hold of something for a long period of time and then possibly flip it down the line, then I recommend either buying boxed, sealed, or graded. And by boxed, I mean all of the manuals, all of the discs. The box condition should be good to excellent or even mint. I think buying anything below that, and you might as well keep it unboxed. Sealed are probably the ones that are going for the most. If you have anything sealed, and by sealed I mean it has to have the seal sticker on and has never been opened, keep hold of that, because they are going up and up in value, because people like me are buying them and then opening them for videos or opening them for themselves. So if you can keep a sealed product, definitely do that, because they're going to go up in price. And then graded, you can get a few companies that will grade your retro products. So if it's sealed games, sealed consoles, sealed handhelds, or even sealed Pokemon cards and sports cards, they can do that for you, and it will increase the value, because a lot of these companies will literally inspect if there's a grain of dust or dirt on the card, and if there isn't, or if there is, they will let you know. So getting a graded card or a console between the 8 and 10 mark, so 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, is where you're really gonna start getting your investment back. So if you do have a few Pokemon cards that I mean are in mint condition, that you literally cannot see if it's defected in any way, or a retro console that's never been opened, I do advise getting it graded. Admittedly, the companies that grade these products are currently undergoing maintenance and are shut, but when this all starts to pick up, I do advise getting your consoles and getting your cards graded, because these are the things that basically tell people that want to buy your product that this is mint condition and this is the rating of that product. You could go into eBay and say that it's mint condition, but in reality it could have a few scratches, and that just doesn't help with trust. But if you can get a company to grade your retro consoles, do that, and I promise you, if you keep it for years upon end, it will just go up and up in value. I don't really have anything graded. I have a PSN 10 base set Pokemon pack, and that's about it. I picked that up a few weeks ago, probably. I think I picked it up for around about the £200 mark, and for me that was reasonable, and I can see that going up and up in price. I probably should have waited a few months actually to get that at a better price, but things like that, if you like, you just need to look for discounts as well. If eBay did a 20% off for me, so when I bought it, it was £250, but I managed to pick it up for £200 because of this discount. So that helped a lot. If you can get discounts on this stuff, then that's the best way to do it. Gaming accessories and fake consoles, that was probably something you guys are interested in and was going to ask. Gaming accessories, yes, they still sell for a lot if you can get them boxed and sealed. They don't go for as much, but I'm noticing a trend in like the weird and crazy accessories that nobody really knows of and that had limited prints or products made. They can go for a lot, and that's something you need to take into consideration when you're trying to flip or collect a product, is the amount that was made. If it's very little and the demand is high, the cost is going to go up. If there's tons and tons of them made or printed or created and the demand is low, you're not going to get a very good price for it because not many people out there want it and everyone has it. Fakes, this is where I should be the pro and know all about these if they go up. I've been keeping my eye on some famous fakes over the last probably 5 years, and they're all staying at a reasonable price because China can manufacture them quite easily in demand. So it's only like the old Polystation 2 that they're not allowed to make anymore, which go for a bit of money. But again, none of them are boxed, none of them are sealed, and they're very rare to come by. But if you do find them boxed and sealed, then yes, they're worth a bit of money. But now I wouldn't recommend buying any fake consoles to look to flip anytime soon because they just make so many of them. And one thing I think you should do, and many people are like, how long do I hold these for? I think minimum you hold any retro console, retro gaming product or collectible for 10 to 25 years, and then you'll see a return on investment, which is really, really good. There's an entrepreneur that I follow called Gary Vaynerchuk. A load of you may know of him, and he's investing into sports cards at the moment because they're getting a better ROI than sneakers, and I can see that coming into the Pokemon scene soon as well. A lot of people my age, late 20s up to 40, kind of grew up or semi-grew up with Pokemon. So I can imagine when my age and younger start to become adults and start to have a bit of money behind them, they're most likely going to invest and look at buying Pokemon or something that's nostalgic that they might be able to collect. So I really do think Pokemon trading cards are going to go up and up in value. So if you can get hold of that, if you can get a very good condition card, keep that for 10 to 25 years, grade it before that, and I can imagine you're going to get a very good return on investment if you're looking to flip this kind of stuff. But if you're not looking to flip and you have it in your collection, keep that, or keep any product that you own that's boxed or sealed in as good condition as you can. Get a protective box for it. Get it in a dark place so that it's not, it won't get sunlight damaged or light damaged and all of that. Just keep it as good as condition as you can. And for those of you looking to start your retro collection, maybe you haven't, now is a better time than ever. If you look at the Pokemon Let's Go limited edition Switch, they've gone up a bit of money. I know you could have picked them up for about $200, but now they're going for $300. And if you look at that, I think that product is only maybe a year and a half old. So you can see the trend there. People want them. They're limited edition consoles. And the kids that are growing up with these Switches now will probably want them in 20 to 30 years time, boxed and sealed for their collection or just to open. There's a big community out there that just want to open old nostalgic box stuff. Like for me, my dream is to literally open a sealed base set booster box. That's what I want to do, and I will get there. They're going for like $5,000 to $8,000 now. Maybe in like years to come, there'll be 10, 15. And if I've got the money, I probably will want that because I so want to open that and get that nostalgic feel that I did years and years ago. And I can imagine the kids and the teenagers growing up with the Switch now will want that in 20 to 30 years time. So definitely, if you're looking to get into the collectible flipping scene, it's best to, pick up the Switches, the limited edition Switches, or, the consoles that are quite limited. Buy them, keep them in a container, or even box them in a protective box, and just keep them for 25 years. And I promise you, it will make you quite a bit of money. So that's what's to do now, and obviously take a look at Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I think they are going to go up in price as well. So that is basically what I wanted to go through today. Something quick, something interesting that I know a lot of you are into. The retro gaming scene is always going to explode and keep increasing because forever our retro gaming products, gaming products for that matter, becoming retro. The PS2 is classed as retro now. If you kept a box PS2, Jesus Christ. And the PS4 is going to become retro in some time. But the best way to get the best ROI is to get the limited edition bundles that have more demand than supply, and keep them sealed, keep them minty fresh, and then wait to sell them and hold them for 10 to 25 years. So do that, and I can promise you your retro collection will increase in value. But it's just the stuff that isn't boxed, that's scuffed, that won't really make you much money. Yeah, you might double that in 25 years, but in reality, you want something that's in minty condition that you can sell to an actual collector in the day, because collectors in the retro scene are becoming more and more and more popular. And I think in the next 10 years, it's going to be a real culture shift. Like the whole retro gaming scene now is a bit geeky, but I really do think it's going to become hip. It's going to become like the sneaker scene, and it's really, really exciting to see that slowly evolve. And that's why Retro Dodo, or I've built Retro Dodo, and I want Retro Dodo to be that, in the middle of all that and help guys like you flip, sell, or are interested in adding stuff to your collection. So that's the talking scene of this podcast. As per usual with all of our Retrospect podcasts, we go into user questions. So a load of you did ask some questions in the previous video. So if you have any questions for the next video, please do put them in the comments below, and I will go over and answer them for you. So let's jump right in with some questions. I basically just go down the list. We had 160 comments last episode, which is highly appreciated. Thank you very much. I love doing these videos, and while we're all still in this self-isolation for another few weeks, we're gonna keep it going for you. So let's go down the list and look at some questions. Steve Nutting says, love the Retrospect series and thanks for the shout out. That was great. Again, another shout out, dude. Thank you for the questions. Are you releasing the video same time every week? I'm guessing yes, but was not sure if you had a schedule. Also, are you ever planning for any kind of live broadcast? I know that is hard to do probably, but manage. Yes, these are coming out every Friday at 3 o'clock GMT. That's UK time, so we're probably about 6 to 8 hours ahead of you guys in the US. But yes, same time every week, same schedule. And live broadcast, I could start doing that. It's just a lot more stress and a lot more work. And so I screw up a lot. Like I say swear words a lot. So having this lets me just snip them out when I can and I want to. But like I said, once this picks up, if the Retrospect goes beyond 10 episodes and starts working outside of the whole self-isolation thing, possibly I might start doing a live broadcast and get you guys in to talk with me live, which probably might be a bit easier than coming up with ideas actually. Leviticus says, do you think someone will make a device that would make the classic mini consoles portable? Probably. Like, all you really need is a battery pack and a little screen. And I know if you're smart, you can get all those products. You can do that anyway. So you can technically make them portable. But if you're talking about like classic mini consoles, like a Game Boy Mini remake, I can't really see that happening, even though we did just write about it on our website. But I can see Nintendo doing a Game Boy remake in like in 5 to 10 years, and it will be like, you know, your classic preloaded games and nothing really special. But that's really about it. Phil Armstrong says, I'm new to the retro gaming and was looking on Amazon for the RG350, and I noticed what looks like identical handsets with different brand names like Hemiston, FlyTies, etc., but all seem to be showing the Anbernic logo, and these different products are the same thing. Sorry if I answered before. So he's saying that he's seeing other companies sell the RG350. Basically, the Chinese handheld scene is a little bit weird. They come out with the RG350, and then other companies can buy the rights to it and basically sell the same product but under a different name, but it's still the RG350. So it's really hard to sometimes title these videos and articles that we write because the name is forever changing. Like the Retroid Pocket, I forgot what it was even called before that, but you're always going to get the RG350. You just need to buy it from the companies, and that's what we're good at on Retro Dodo, is giving you the information you need to pick up the correct handheld via the correct links, because a lot of these companies will basically call it the same handheld like the RG350, but it will be an older, outdated RG350 that they're just trying to flog. So yes, they sometimes do rename them, but there's a company behind them all the time, like Anbernic, and it's just best just to go straight to Anbernic for the consoles. But yeah, they do rename them, but just stick with the most popular and just check out our website for the real name and the real links. Duarte Casco, apologies if I said that wrong. Can you make a podcast episode on the Analogue Pocket, like a dive-in? Yes, since I think the second episode where we spoke about that, it's gaining a lot of popularity, so I definitely will be doing an episode on the Analogue Pocket. They really haven't came out with much more information, so I think when they do, that's probably the best time to make a podcast episode on it and talk about that. Hopefully this whole pandemic hasn't caused any issue with their production, and we can still see that coming out this year, which will be very exciting. But yes, my friend, when that comes out, or any new information, there will be a new episode just for you, mate. Jonathan Earl says, GameCube discs are rather small. Do you like the idea of a GameCube portable running GameCube discs? Wow, I haven't even thought of that. Because they are quite small, aren't they? They're a very small disc, so possibly it would be a very thick handheld, but if like the gameplay is as fluent as it would be on a console, I am totally down for that. And that will be again like going back and trying to find all the old games, which is quite nice. I actually recently reviewed this, and it's on our website, and there will be a video coming up shortly. It is the Evercade. It's a handheld, a new handheld that just came out of the United Kingdom that plays cartridges, and you can actually like pick up games, cartridges. It comes with manuals that you can actually read and integrate with, and it just opened my eyes, and it really made me miss the good days of going to a game store, looking for games, flicking through the manuals, or trading games with your friends. So it's good to see a handheld kind of going back to its roots with the cartridges. So if a handheld did that, like the GameCube handheld with discs, I am totally down for that, because I kind of enjoy, searching for the games, looking at the cases, keeping them in my collection or on show. So 100% I would like to see that. That's a great idea, and thank you for that question. A lot of you are saying that you can't find this podcast on Spotify. Yeah, apologies, it's not on there yet. I've been incredibly busy. Once I think we get to like episode 10, and if it's still popular, these podcasts, I will get them all on Spotify for you to listen to when you're at work or on the go. Jonathan Earl, mate, you are smashing out the questions. Thank you very much. And you guys can ask more than one questions. Hyperkin versus Retrobit, which is better? Oh, that is a tough one. I think Hyperkin have kind of hit this brick wall in terms of innovation and good quality products, where Retrobit have never been in that same quality bracket. They've always been a bit behind Hyperkin, but Retrobit are constantly innovating and constantly bringing out products. So I can imagine over the next few years, there'll probably be more, respectable than Hyperkin. So probably I'm going to go with Retrobit for now, because I predict they're going to become quite an interesting brand within the retro gaming community. Regal Riker says, hey man, just discovered your channel a few days ago and wanted to say I'm really enjoying your content. Thanks, brother. That actually means a lot. And you said, hope your move goes smoothly. I really do bloody appreciate those kind of comments. I know I don't say it much in my videos, because my videos are kind of like, I don't know, they're very substantial. They're about the product, that's it. So getting able to talk to you guys like this every week is kind of interesting, and it kind of gives me a bit more of a personal touch to you guys. So Regal, sorry if I said your name wrong. Thank you for the kind comments, mate. The move did go smoothly. So as you know, I moved into a new flat. It went smoothly, but obviously there was no removal companies, and the skip or the tip or the recycling places wasn't open. So I had to do it all by hand, and currently still holding on to all my trash, which is atrocious. Yeah, Tammy says the only reason we love these videos is because we're all nerds. Yeah, and I still think to this day that the whole people think this is all nerdy, and back in the day, like collecting shoes and all that was kind of a bit weird. I really do think like the nerd and the geek scene is going to become like culturally cool soon. I really do think it's going to happen in the next 10 to 20 years, and hopefully that will make the retro gaming community just boom, you know. I think that's going to be it for this episode. I want to keep it short and sweet because I have a ton more stuff to move into this flat. I have this office to set up, and the echo is really doing my nutting. So there you go. There's a quick chat about collecting retro gaming products and a few of your questions answered. There will be another episode next week on Friday at 3 o'clock GMT, and I hope to have a video up before that on the channel. And then after that, the studio should be ready to start producing mass content. So that will be exciting. I've got a few cool ideas coming up that I want to share with you, and a couple more products to pimp in the next few months. So as per usual, thanks for watching. It's beyond appreciated. You guys are the best, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.